Everything goes back to the day I was born. Well, at least that's what I've been told. I was told that it went a little like this. When I popped out, the Imperial March began to play, and that's where everything began. I was born loving Star Wars. Some of the memories that I can vividly recall all revolve around dressing up as Darth Vader or Commander Cody at Halloween at my elementary school. Fast forward to about 2013, and I ended up going to this neat little thing called Comic-Con. I'm sure you've heard of it. Well, this was the first time I got to see a stormtrooper for the first time. In short, it's one of my fondest memories from high school, aside from meeting my little Wookiee cat. Now, somewhere in there I developed a little habit for creating things. When I was around 8 or 9, I started making movies with some of my neighborhood friends with our Nerf blasters and lightsabers, with dreams of making a blockbuster. Now, if we fast forward to when I was around 13 or 14 years old, my little filmmaking habit turned into a passion, and I wanted to do something bigger. The only issue was not having stacks of money to buy a ridiculous amount of airsoft guns and miscellaneous props for my antics. Then I saw a pile of my Nerf blasters and started painting and weathering them. Now, I'm pretty sure that's where my interest for prop and costume making kicked off. Now, until I was about 18, I kept up with transforming Nerf blasters into realistic-looking weapons. It took me a little while to get a hold of my first costume-related kit, though. That kit was a Rebel Fleet Trooper helmet. Now, this was the beginning of the journey, which was putting together a Rebel Fleet Trooper uniform. In the past, I was asked by friends, "Why the Rebel Fleet Trooper, man?" Well, I've always liked them for some reason. They've always stood out to me, and everything just began to fall into place ever since. Now, during the process of making the helmet, I sliced my hand open, which was fun. But aside from that, it's all gone very smoothly. Not too long ago, I finished putting together a blaster kit, which is the DH-17, one of the first blasters we ever see in Star Wars. Now that's if you watch the films in the order of 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, which is followed by the Stormtroopers and their E-11 blaster rifles. Ever since then, I've been working on the Skywalker lightsaber handle, or hilt. Pretty iconic piece of Star Wars lore, but since I'm a perfectionist, I've been taking my time in perfecting my skills surrounding kit building. So who knows when that one's going to be done. Now, a pretty significant chapter in my ongoing Star Wars story was this discovery of a Star Wars costuming group known as the Imperial Outlanders. They're an amazing group of people that I stumbled across back in high school during a 3 in the morning YouTube binge that was probably on a school night. Anyways, my experience with them has been purely positive. They're an extremely welcoming community of Star Wars fans who are all about costuming as characters from a galaxy far, far away. Other groups worth mentioning are the 501st and Rebel Legions. The best way I can describe them are the Outlanders on an even bigger scale. Now, one day I would like to end up there, but that doesn't mean I'll ever want to leave the Outlander community because they've been around when I went through some weirdly rocky terrain in my life. Now, despite all of this, I can't remember a time where Star Wars wasn't in my life. Even though I got picked on in elementary and middle school just for liking it, I never let go of it. Star Wars is my jam, and that makes me think about the climate threat around Star Wars. From my point of view, being a nerd in general has become acceptable, which is great. I can do whatever the hell I want with it. From time to time, I'll get comments praising me for my hobbies and interests and taking them further with what I do. I've been trying to do that for as long as I can remember, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Up next, well, somewhere down the line, I'm going to be working on a Stormtrooper armor kit, and I'm absolutely determined to make it happen, and I see it as being the ultimate project, more or less my final if we want to apply scholarly terms into it. In the meantime, you'll definitely find me working on my next kit and preparing for the Rise of Skywalker. And when the time comes, I know that I'll be ready to tackle the big score.